Hello and welcome back to Half-Life. We're somewhat nearing the end of the game here.
The Combine has cut our supply tunnel in two. If you'll join up with us, we'll take a stab at pushing through their outpost.
Now I say that. But like this game is always a little bit longer than I think. That's not to say that it's too long. It's not. In fact, it could stand to be a bit longer. But that's only because I want more of it. Topics at hand that I was mentioning and I would like to follow up on. Remasters, and I also thought of another one, game length. Which is possibly a very spicy topic, because I know that it's both popular and unpopular to suggest that games should be shorter and longer. Both of them. They're somehow both controversial. But I think at the end of the day, when you're talking about games, literally everything is controversial. I don't think there's a single thing you can say that it won't, like, bother someone. And I say that with love, you know? Like, honestly, bless people for being so frustrated all the time. I don't think I mean that, honestly. Let me destroy some of these guys and. All right. So remasters. I mean, what is the most, like, I don't know. What's the first thing you think of when you think of a remaster? I'm thinking, I mean, for me the answer is probably not obvious. It's actually the Spyro Reignited. Spyro Reignited is like just an awesome remake. And I think it's the perfect example of like a game that should be remade because it has aged. Like, it was a product of the limitations of its technology, which is to say it was made, it was made to be pretty cutting edge at the time, but they were limited. That's all there is to it. You know, when you gotta push the boundaries of your tech in order to run Crash Bandicoot, that is to say hack, basically make a really hacky solution to make something like Crash Bandicoot run, which by today's standards is not an altogether impressive game, then you know that you're working with some pretty limited tech. So, you know, Spyro, great game, honestly. I think that most people would agree with that. I don't think, unless you're just being a contrarian. Almost made it out of that with the perfect amount of health. Sucks. You know, not to just straight up say that if you don't like Spyro, you're a contrarian. But I think that if you don't like Spyro, then you don't really feel passionately about it one way or another. You're like, yeah, I don't like it, but it's not for me, you know. How do I get through here? Oh. Okay, I'll don't worry. I'm not losing my train of thought here. Okay. Oh, more. Still more? What's gonna blow? Oh, the wall? Okay. So it's a really good example of a bad remake, or that is to say, a remake that doesn't need to exist. Probably Last of Us, which I hear did get a remake, because ultimately, like, how bad does the original look? I probably shouldn't bring up The Last of Us because I know it's like it's got about 13 layers of like divisive topics.
Maybe you can find a way around.
I have no dog in this race. I haven't played it, so I'm not going to speak to the quality of The Last of Us. I would just say I think that a good example of a remake that shouldn't exist is one made for a game that is like within the decade, you know? I actually would go further than that because I think that Half-Life 2 is like, we're looking at like close to 2 decades old, aren't we? And like, I think that it could, like, if it can, like, mods really do a lot for longevity. Oh God. Did not mean to just like jump into the goop there. How? Oh, are we doing? Oh, we're doing this thing again, aren't we? So, you know, these are my opinions on in respect to remakes. So like, does Half-Life 2 need a remake? I don't think so. I think you could just like make a mod that spruces it up a little bit. Maybe higher resolution textures. Maybe a little, like, you know, maybe some more bump mapping if I was gonna be like really wishing, you know, for a lot. I don't think it looks bad. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't think it looks bad. It kind of came out at the perfect time when like PC gaming was like, I mean, you know, this is back to my topic on like how Steam, but PC gaming kind of like found its footing in a way. And so, as much as Half-Life 2 was cutting edge at the time, and I think it was, you know, yes, it has aged, but it hasn't aged so badly that you like, oh yeah, this game just looks like absolute dog shit. And like, you know, not to be rude to Spyro 1, but it kind of looks like dog shit. Like the original Spyro 1. Great style, sure. Just like, you know, you got those morphing textures on PS1, and basically I don't think you get any anti-aliasing, so you got like jaggies everywhere. It's kind of a disaster to look at now. You know, we've been spoiled, but you know, them's the breaks. You know, we gotta move forward. So, I think remakes are actually okay. I think they're a totally fine thing. So long as they do feel valid. It's like, yeah, this is a game I would like to replay, but I really don't want to have to set up, first of all, old technology that is like no longer relevant. Like, not a lot of people have a PS1 set up. Okay, and it must be said, I think this is maybe a different controversial topic. Not a lot of people have a PS1 or a PS3, which is backwards compatible, because you know, very few of them exist. I would even take it further. How many people have a PS3 set up? Never mind a backwards compatible one. So I think that you know, exclusivity does a lot towards like, yeah, I mean, a game is no longer relevant. Not necessarily irrelevant, but the technology isn't relevant, and it's not something that someone's bound to have set up. It's no longer accessible. I guess instead of exclusivity, I should talk about accessibility. What? So doing a remake ensures that the game in question is going to be accessible.
It's not safe here anymore. They're shelling the hell out of us. Keep moving, Dr. Freeman. I'll send word you're coming and see you up
Unless the game was you know, originally published by like Atlas and Sony, in which case it's not going to be accessible. It's going to be exclusive to the new technology. In which case, I'm looking forward to 10 years from now when we see another remake, or maybe 20 years from now when we see another remake of Demon Souls, and then I can, you know, finally play the new version of it. Sorry, I'm not buying a PS5 to play one game. No offense to Spider-Man Mike, whatever it is, Morales. It looks like a fine game. It's just I'm not excited about it. These are very like spicy takes. I really don't think that I'm not excited about a game, end quotation. It should be a spicy take, but like I said, you know, people like to get, they live to get upset about these things. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. But maybe I'm just a boomer living in the past, playing my boomer shooters and my, you know, Valve games. It's fine. It's fine. So that brings me to the second topic. Oh. How long do you think a game should be? Yo, that sucks. Don't be shooting my friends like that. Why do y'all have to come in here? Now I have to go through the window. Oh man, you're shooting civilians. This is too real. It's too... It's way too still relevant somehow. How long do you think a game should be? I think that a game should be as long as it is satisfying to play. Which is completely subjective.
Don't forget to reload, Dr. Freeman.
Oh, thank you.
Cover me while I reload. Get yourself up.
Yeah, can I get
a
a
med kit.
Thank you. Can I get another one? 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 Can I
Take this med kit.
Thank you. Can I get another one? No. I'm not gonna bug him for 7 health. I almost said 3 health. I think that how long a game should be is like so subjective. It's not even just subjective for the person playing the game. It's subjective for the game itself. Because personally, like, what are the longest games you can think of to play, to sink hours into? Unless it's Minecraft, and that's subjective in itself. It's probably an MMO, something that has been like artificially lengthened in order to, ensure that the players stay in the game. I say this as someone who's currently playing an MMO. Also, I appreciate that one comment. I'm gonna shout it out. The one comment when I was talking about Guild Wars 2, I was like, yeah, thank you, thank you for not posting MMO content. Also, welcome to the post 10 minutes exclusive club. I do think that's really funny. It's like, yeah, I know no one wants to see that, and I appreciate the one person who's like, yeah, we really don't. That's really funny to me. Excuse me? What's happening here?
Behind you!
Where are they? Ow, 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 ow. Man, you really don't get a lot of magnum ammo, and I just go ahead and waste it like that. Okay, okay. So as much as I'm not going to post Guild Wars content on the channel, I would like to talk about Guild Wars. You know, we're talking about an MMO, and we're also talking about how long a game should be. I think that Half-Life 2 feels very satisfying in length. Like, very satisfying in length. I don't think I need it to be that much longer. And when I say need, I mean, like, I really do enjoy it. But, it sees its story to completion. It has an arc. It has a progression, which meets the ending in a kind of, like, yes, this is where this game was headed. Like, reaches its natural conclusion. You know what I mean? That like a story comes to its end in the same way a game comes to its end. So, like, you know, when we talk about the natural progression of a game, we really talk about how its mechanics and the features of its novelty progress in a way that makes sense. And I've talked about it before, but I really think that for Half-Life 2, that is, yes, it is the gunplay, yes, but I also think it's the physics engine. And I mean, you know, I'm not going to spoil the ending. I know this is a 20-year-old game, but I'm not going to spoil it. Ow. I think you'll agree, if you have played through Half-Life 2, that the physics engine does see a natural conclusion. It does see an ending. I am talking about the gravity gun. I am talking about, like, there's a progression in how you are allowed and able to play with the physics of this game. Wow, I do not remember that. Yo, eat that guy. I didn't know. Is he gonna eat it? Really running low on health. I keep talking. And there's, like, stuff to do, you know? Is this where it came from? I get lost easy, you know? Yeah. Did it die? Hold on, as soon as I find where I'm supposed to go... Oh, you're alive. Oh, I see, it spat out the bones. Okay. Makes sense. Is this where I'm going? Uh-huh. I think that Half-Life 2 sees its... sees the mechanics and the story to a satisfying and natural conclusion. You know, it builds up around the Citadel and it hits that Citadel. You fight the great antagonist that has been built up throughout the game. What more can you really ask for? The only thing you could really ask for is maybe one or two more story beats that give you other mechanics to play with. Like, what would that look like? I don't know. I really don't. So, in the end of the day, like, besides inventing new content for Half-Life 2, I don't think it needs more stuff. Because then it would just be more, you know? It wouldn't be necessarily, I don't know. I hesitate to say good, but, like, it wouldn't feel complete anymore. It might feel bloated. It might be that the new content, it just feels like padding. And I think that's, like, the real thing I want to talk about is, like when it comes to when a game feels like it's been padded out, it's obvious, you know? It's really obvious when a game feels padded. Most people, I wouldn't say most people. I think some people don't care about that. They don't care if a game is padded because they recognize that as like, yes, I'm going to get my money's worth from this game. I'm going to play this game as much as I can.
I've got Dr. Kleiner in a safe spot. Now we can join up with Barney. There's a command center downstairs. I'm hoping to find information about generator locations. Ready? Let's go.
Maybe for some people, padding is recognized as content. And I say that without irony. Perfect amount of shield. Just had to ruin it. Anyway, when I think about games that feel too long, this is gonna be spicy, but I open world games always come to my mind. And I mean that it's subjective because at the end of the day, I feel like it stretches certain mechanics so far, so much farther than they really need to be, that it does just feel like, well, I meant to try and get my money's worth out of this game. I meant to get like 80 hours out of this game. This content wasn't necessarily added because, you know, it's good or because that's how people wanted it to, you know, like they didn't add it to feel novel. They didn't add it to feel like the next progression part of the game. They added it to ensure that the player felt they got their hours. And I mean, you don't have to hate that. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. There's a place for that for sure. Like, you know.
Well, we're in luck. There's a generator in the square outside. We're trying to disable as many as we can to loosen the Combine's grip on this sector. It'll take me a few minutes to expose the core, then I'll need you to hit it with a burst from the gravity gun. In the meantime, watch my back.
We were looking to join you, Dr.
Oof,
Freeman.
you guys scared me. I think there is a place for games that are padded. I think that's why MMOs still exist, you know? That's spicy, but I don't think... You don't have to disagree with me. I mean, you don't have to take this as like MMOs are bad because they're padded. No, MMOs are made to be played for a long, long time. That can be good. That can feel good. You're allowed to enjoy that, but do recognize that, you know? I think that's fair, you know? I say that as someone who's playing an MMO. It's been padded. It's been extensively padded with about a bazillion escort quests, a bazillion defend this and fight the, you know, X number of waves and take this, you know, command post and, you know, I've done about the same 4 or 5 or maybe 6 quests in Guild Wars 2 about 6 gajillion times, and I find that enjoyable. In the right time and place, I can find that to be a really enjoyable, passive, chill experience. So what am I, you know, what does this all mean? Why am I talking about this? Well, when I talk about Half-Life 2, every single beat of it it feels like it was added with purpose, you know? Nothing feels expendable. You know, they talk about when you're talking about making really good art, it's not about what you add, it's what you take away. And I can't think of a part of Half-Life 2 that I would want to take away. I'm sure you could, but it would, you know, it might feel rushed. You know, certain parts of it might feel like, there's something missing here. I guess in the respect, that's like almost why I say, you know, I wouldn't mind like one more antline section. Feels like there should be another antline section, and I'm pretty sure I did hear that there was going to be, like that was planned, and you know, but I might be wrong about that one. It might be that's wishful thinking. was a lucky shot there. So what am I getting at here? Well, you know, it is really subjective. It's up to you. Are you satisfied playing something that has a lot of content for the sake of content? You know, not saying that as a criticism. Then that's fine. Then that game was long enough. But if you find doing the X thing like, you know, a lot of times because they didn't add like more mechanics or they didn't add more stuff to do, they gave it the certain, you know, X number of mechanics and then stretched that across a 80-hour experience, then that's also fine. Like you can enjoy that. I think that a lot of people, when it comes to games, get really caught up in what is right. What is right and wrong, you know? I think what is right and wrong is comes down to like, how is someone being abused? Because abuse does exist in games. I'm not talking about just the workplace, although that's another very spicy topic I could probably talk about, but like, I'm not going to right now. I guess I'm talking about how does the game manipulate its player base. I am talking specifically about like loot boxes, gotchas, gambling mechanics, things that manipulate people out of spending more money. And you know what? I'll go ahead and say that exists in MMOs as well, and specifically it exists in Guild Wars. I mean, it's got its loot boxes.
Here, patch yourself up.
I think that's the only place I really draw the line. Is it taking advantage of people, you know? Okay, yeah, I knew that was coming. Oh yeah, I just have extra ammo here, or armor. I don't remember this section. This is very spicy. Okay. Come here. Is that it?
Barney should be on the far side of that.
Nice.
Well, there used to be a bridge here. Let me see if I can scout a new path. Ah, wait for me here.
This is a pretty nice set of animations they gave Alex to climb up this building.
Hey! Looks like we might be able to get through down there. Let's head that way. Ah, no!
All right. All right. So this is gonna do it. These episodes have been like consistently 30 minutes. And that's all right. You know, this was a topic dense one and we got through another section of the game. We are coming up. There's a lot more than I thought. I don't even, like, we're not at the Citadel yet, but we are pretty close. And the Citadel, as I recall, is also pretty long. But I anticipate like 2 or 3 more episodes, maybe. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying this series and me rambling about things like remakes and game length. If you do like the episode and if you're new to my content, maybe consider subscribing. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.